Welcome to This Week at the NCPA, where we tell you what's happening on and off stage at the National Centre of the Performing Arts. Spectacular event. One World, Many Musics, celebrating artistic plurality. Now this comes to you on two dates. One is the 13th and the other is the 22nd of October. On the 13th of October at the Experimental Theatre, 7 p.m. Tickets are now live on bookmyshow.com. You can also find tickets and information at ncpamumbai.com. Book My Show and NCPA Mumbai for the Dipesh Varma Collective. And Dipesh Varma himself is here with me. Wonderful to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Hrishi?
Excellent.
So good to be here, and thank you for having me.
I love the idea that there are so many musical traditions and forms, and this is a show that really is an amalgamation and a fusion of two very, very different genres, which is South Indian or Carnatic music and North Indian music.
Correct.
So let's talk about the theme of One World, Many Musics before we get into what Dipesh Varma Collective is actually composed of.
So One World, Many Musics is an initiative by NCPA, and this allows the artists from different genres to present their music, present their art, and especially present their original music, what they have composed and what they have come up with. So it's a great initiative because as you have seen and experienced, that most of the time we get to see some just a classical concert going on or just a jazz concert going on at a particular place. But NCPA, they are open with all kind of experiments. They are open with all kind of genres, whether it is classical, whether it is jazz, whether it is Bollywood, whether it is a rock show or anything. So this initiative is specially for the artists who come from different cultures, who come from different genres of music, and they come together and present something unique. So it's One wonderful. World, Many Musics.
Many musics. And I'm quite intrigued by your own career. I mean, you have trained under the great Taufiq Qureshi.
Yes.
Taufiq, I have so much love for Taufiq Bhai and Fazal Bhai and of course Zakir Bhai.
Yes.
Zakir Bhai recently played a triple concerto at NCPA.
Correct.
And I was stunned by what him and Niladri Kumar and
Rakesh
Chaurasia ji did. And what is unique about what Taufiq has done is he's taken everything that is played on a tabla and plays it on various percussion instruments,
especially on the
djembe,
African percussion.
And you specialize in percussion and djembe. So let's talk about yourself before we go to the other musicians.
So it's been 17 years now I'm learning under Taufiq Bhai, and right, like you said, he has adapted the tabla grammar on the djembe, which is an African percussion, but the whole grammar, the whole repertoire is Indian classical tabla. So the the effort is to take his legacy ahead and take this revolution ahead, and whatever I can do from my side for my guru and for his legacy. It's truly an honor that I am getting an opportunity one after the other to represent what I have learned from him. So that is there, and apart from that, I am very much active in the Hindi film industry songs and working with Touchwood with all the great composers like Ajay Atul, Pritam Da, Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji, Shankar Ehsaan Loy, and Amal Malik, and many other. So there is a balance of both the genres in me, like, because Taufiq Bhai, he himself has maintained the balance in both the genres, in Indian classical music and the Bollywood as well. So the recent project I assisted him was the Brahmastra, the BGM score, and
Ryan Mukherjee's film,
yes,
which stars Ranbir Kapoor as well as Alia Bhatt and Mr. Bachchan.
Yes. So, and some of the upcoming projects are Hira Mandi from Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji's production, and some other couple of projects are there in the pipeline. So yeah, so that's a little about me.
I find it also very really extraordinary that this is Taufiq Bhai's legacy, the great Ustad Allah Rakha Sahab also, that percussion is not just about the instrument, it's about voice and mouth percussion also.
Yes.
Please give us a wonderful example of that.
So, pardon me for any mistakes. I'm just a beginner Of course, I can't do what he does, but a little bit of example what I have taken from him and inspired by him. So there's one thing which he does, it's very interesting. So there are two percussion instruments from Maharashtra. One is Bagal Bacha and one is the Chondka. So the Bagal Bacha is of a very low pitch, like, and the Chondka is a female version of the same thing. So it's just a thought by him, of course, inspired by him. So a conversation between a husband and a wife with these two instruments. So husband, as usual, very apologetic, and as we all know. So wife.
Beautiful. Dipesh Varma, percussion, djembe player, and now displaying some extraordinary talent there with vocal and mouth percussion, and wonderful. And Taufiq bhai, if you're listening to this, your shishya is doing very, very well. Now let's come to the Dipesh Varma Collective at the Experimental Theatre, 7 p.m. on Friday the 13th. Sridhar Parsarthi is a very senior percussionist.
Yes.
Belonging to the South myself, if you mention his name, it is so synonymous with the Mridangam and the Kanjira and the Morsing. It must be wonderful to have him as part of the Dipesh Varma Collective.
He's a living legend, and also happens to be my guru, because I have taken all the Carnatic rhythm knowledge
Tradition
from him. So, and it's truly an honor that he has agreed to do this, and he's blessing all of us by his presence and with his music. So it's truly an honor to have him.
So we understand that the Carnatic element will come from him. You also have Harmeet Singh on the tabla.
Yes.
And Sandeep Mishra on the sarangi, providing the North Indian classical. Right. Do I take it that the Hindustani and Carnatic melodies and rhythms will blend purposefully to create a unique sonic experience?
Yes, because often we see these both cultures differently in any concert, and of course there are experiments done by Zakir Bhai, Fazal Bhai, Taufiq Bhai, where they have merged these two beautiful cultures, and they have come up with something extraordinary and beautiful. So similarly, my effort is to do the same and to come up with something which is very, very unique and very different, and not just a fusion, but let's call it a world music.
Yeah, the beauty about Indian music, and actually this is a wonderful quotation that Dipesh has shared in the On Stage magazine for the NCPA. He says, Indian music is such that you can experiment even within its boundaries.
Yes.
It lets you wander and explore. It's
true.
really, really, really wonderful. And of course, these are young musicians, but we'd still like to know about them. If you could talk about Sandeep on the sarangi, Harmeet on tabla, Abhay Nayampalli joins the Dipesh Varma Collective on the guitars, and Amit Padye shall be on harmonium and keyboard.
That's true.
So talk to us about them.
So Harmeet, again, he's a student of Fazal Bhai. He's learning from Ustad Allah Rakha Institute of Music. Yes. Sandeep Mishra is from Banaras Gharana, and he's on sarangi, so he plays sarangi as well as he sings very nicely. So some authentic Kajri or Thumri you'll get to listen from him on 13th of October. And Abhay Nayampalli, as we all know, is a senior disciple of late Shri U. Srinivasji. So he's there on Carnatic guitar. And apart from that, Amit Padye, who's also a fabulous music producer, keyboard player, harmonium player, and also a student of late Shri Tulsidas Borkarji. He was a great harmonium maestro. So all of them are there, and all of us are going to, create something which is very unique and which is very soothing to the ears, as well as we are approaching Navratri, so there are some surprise kept for you all for Navratri thing.
Good.
For that, you'll have to come on the 13th.
That's remarkable. Hindustani, Carnatic melodies, rhythms, and also some commercial sounds, like he said, leading up to the Navratri season. Let's just a little bit on the contribution of the National Centre of the Performing Arts, NCPA, for somebody like you and your career. I mean, you talked about Mandolin Srinivas, the great U. Srinivas.
Yes.
He passed away so young, way before his time, and I have these wonderful memories of seeing him play. He was always smiling. He's such a wonderful human being.
That's true.
And you also, I mean, if you look at the acoustics of the Tata Theatre, the Jamshed Baba, and the Experimental, where you're going to be performing, they're built in such beautiful manners for sound to travel seamlessly. And you have these wonderful memories of watching the great Tulok Gurtu.
Yes.
Along with Taufiq Bhai.
Zakir Bhai.
With Zakir Bhai.
Yes.
And that is such a treat. I mean, that is real world music.
Yes.
The great Trilok Gurtu and Zakir Bhai. And if I'm not mistaken, you were a student and you were allowed to sit near the riser.
Yes, we were
Talk to us about that.
So that was a concert, I think, a decade ago or something. So we used to go to NCPA and we were allowed, like especially the students, we were allowed to sit near the risers on the stage, which is a, what do you call, diamond platinum seat.
Beautiful.
So I was very fortunate to witness these two giants so closely. Like on my right, Trilok Bhai, on my left, Zakir Bhai and Ustad Sabir Khan on Sarangi. So that concert I remember at NCPS, at Tata Theatre especially. And it was phenomenal. Because it's very rare that Zakir Bhai and Trilok Bhai come together.
Yeah.
It's very rare. So that was the moment which I got to witness and see these great legends performing. So connection with NCPA is goes like beyond a decade, and I have learnt a lot by just going there and watching the concerts. The place has its own charm and so much of positivity. The moment you enter the premises, it's so positive and so musical that you get inspired by each of the venues, whether it is experimental, whether it is Tata Theatre, whether it is Jamshed Baba. So I have fortunately I have performed at all these three venues there. So Tata Theatre I have performed with Taufiq Bhai. It was on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti. Then Jamshed Baba I have performed with many playback singers, Preetham Da and Neeti Mohan, and many concerts. Experimental Theatre I have performed with the great Ranjit Barot sir.
Wow.
So there was a concert of him and his daughter Malika Barot, and I was on the percussions. And there are many master classes and workshops I have witnessed at Experimental Theatre. So we are grateful to NCPA, we are grateful to Dr. Rao Bhakti Atavale, who has come up with this initiative and who have allowed us to be there and present whatever we can and whatever we have. So ever grateful to them.
As part of One World Many Musics, celebrating artistic plurality, on the 22nd of October come the phenomenal pop band When Chai Met Toast. They sing in Malayalam, English, Hindi, Tamil, and they will be performing on the 22nd of October at the Tata Theatre at 7 p.m. We will talk a little more about that in a forthcoming episode. But the Dipesh Varma Collective, ladies and gentlemen, at the Experimental Theatre, Friday the 13th, 7 p.m. Tickets are at Book My Show. This is going to be fabulous. Sridhar Parsati, the legend, joins Dipesh, who will be on percussion and djembe, and a lovely mix of artists. Thank you so much for rolling by.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Welcome to This Week at the NCPA, and lots of excitement this week on stage and off stage at the National Centre of the Performing Arts. What's happening on the 15th is an NCPA offstage presentation in collaboration with the Habitat. It's called The Big Show, an all-star stand-up comedy lineup. There are two showings at the Experimental Theatre, 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. 5 p.m. has just been added on, so for all of you who want an early start to the weekend and take the weekend beyond the weekend, this is the right way to do it. Get tickets for your 5 p.m. show, and following which there's a 7:30 p.m. Tickets are at Book My Show as we speak, and also at the NCPA Mumbai website. So Book My Show as well as ncpamumbai.com. Pleased to welcome Sumaira Shaikh, Nishant Tanwar Samay Raina, the comedians, and the guy who's put it all together, Balraj Singh Ghai. What's up, you guys?
What's up?
Balraj, I like the fact that the habitat and what you do there is nice, it's small, it's intimate, but ever so often you want to break out and do the real thing, the bigger stuff, isn't it? And what better way to do than with a collab with the NCPA? You get more bums on seats.
I mean, I think that's a great way to present it. Getting more bums on seats. I never thought I'll hear this as a line, but I think that we've been doing our daily shows for quite a bit of time now. It's been like more than 8 years now since we've been doing it, and it's high time that there are several comics who have been performing at our stages. They get to experience not just larger stages, but also the audiences get to discover them. Usually at a smaller club, at a smaller venue, at a more intimate space, it's a very different vibe. It's far more enjoyable is what I think. But since we've already done 2 big shows, one was earlier at Sapphire College Auditorium, another was at Bal Gandharva Rang Mandir, I decided that let's get into a tie-up with NCPA and do this further. And NCPA has very nicely opened its arms and welcomed us into having their audiences on that side discover what comics actually are doing in the country today.
Samay, have you performed at the Experimental? Samay, have you performed at the Experimental before or any other venues of the NCPA?
Yes, sir. I have. बहुत बढ़िया venue है, best venue है in Mumbai का, one of the best venues. I performed. I was doing opening for Akash. I think I really like the venue. It's a nice room, and Balraj मेरा भाई है. Anything for him, whatever he says, I'll be there.
So, has Balraj instructed you to do more chess jokes or less?
No. Balraj bhai is always there helping all comics get stage time, even the new ones, and he's a great friend. So मेरे को तो पता भी नहीं था ये हम क्या कर रहे हैं, वीडियो ये रेडियो ये सब. बलराज भाई ने लिंक भेजा तो मैं आ गया भाई. बलराज भाई के लिए जाना हाजिर है हमारी.
Thank you, guys.
That's lovely. And I like that, Balraj, you put together a motley crew. I mean, these guys are so different from each other. I mean, if you look at what Sumaira is doing, if you look at what Nishant does.
Nishant bhai's hairstyle. So different from us.
So that's obviously something that you do consciously, isn't it? I mean, so that you can get variety in terms of the fact that you have different characters to play off. Also, what kind of set are we talking about? How many minutes per comedian?
There'll be between 12 to 15 minutes per comedian, and the average lineup is going to be about 7 people. So you're going to easily have a 2-hour show. That's why it's called the big show. It is a longer lineup as well, and all of these comics are going to be doing the best version of their sets that they have been performing so far. So it's the best place to get people to get introduced. Like if you want to get your friends who've never watched comedy before, or people who've never seen stand-up comedy or what Indian stand-up comics are doing, this is the best show to actually bring them to.
So Nishant, can we expect Joke Singh?
मैं ही हूँ.
मालूम है मेरे भाई.
मैं चश्मा उतार के ऐसा.
मतलब
वो तो पुराना हो गया उसका तो. हाँ पर हाँ मतलब वही ये हमारे
कहने का मतलब वही है कि पुराना लाओगे नया लाओगे. Can we expect some of that?
एकदम.
What is your set going to be like? What is your set going to be like?
Jokes reveal कर दो निशान भाई सारे.
Jokes reveal.
Premise बता के छोड़ दो.
So it's more of observational. Some of the new stuff I've been doing since last 3-4 months वो करने वाले हैं. और इसकी सबसे बेस्ट बात जो मुझे लगती है, ये मिनी कॉमेडी फेस्टिवल है. If you see a comedy festival, because line-up shows नहीं होते अभी इतने, सब ज़्यादातर अपने सोलो में लगे रहते हैं. So what Balraj bhai has done is he's got us together to do this show. तो इसमें हम एक दूसरे को मिल भी लेंगे, है ना. मेन हमारा तो वही होता है, हम एक दूसरे के मजे लेने के मिलेंगे, शो तो हो जाएगा.
So Nishant, आप अभी improv करते हो, or is that something that's a thing of the past? You're still doing lots of improv.
No, not lots, but हाँ करते हैं. वो जो हम पहले करते थे, वो एक improv का शो अलग था एक. But now crowd work is like improv. वो वाला yes and वाला नहीं करते अब हम.
And scene.
But isn't that But I have a lot of fascination for guys who do improv work, man. It's unbelievable stuff. I mean, it also
ठीक है
keeps you on
फिर
your
हम
toes,
चलते
right?
हैं फिर ठीक है alright.
एक तो मुश्किल से माना है उसके ऊपर कह रहा मैं जा रहा हूँ. Yeah. Sumaira, what Nishant just said made a lot of sense. I mean, when the whole comedy boom started, it was all about line-up shows. Then everybody just said, I want to do my solo gig, concentrate on my YouTube career, make some money there. Then you'd see an opening act and then, the comedian himself or herself. The fact that, lineups are back and in a big way on the big show, what does it mean to you?
What does it mean? It means कि I get to perform to larger crowds because it's right कि I'm the kind of comic who loves the more intimate setting और Habitat अगर आपने देखा it's like the best venue.
Yeah.
I have recorded my first videos also in Habitat. बहुत मजा आया था भाई. And now that बलराज जैसे समय ने कहा बलराज ने कहा कॉल करके कि आ जाओ and we were like yes.
Yes.
We'll be there. We'll be there for this lineup. I'm really excited. बहुत सारा crowd आएगा, बहुत मजा आएंगे. देखो perform जैसे निशांत ने कहा perform करना तो बहाना है. Is going to be the green room जहाँ पे मजे आएंगे. That's it. That's the show. That's the show.
And have you ever reached a point in your life when you have to pull rank on a fellow badly behaved comedian saying that you're a dongri girl? कभी
It's समय.
हाथापाई हुई है backstage?
नहीं यार हाथापाई कोई कॉमिक physical violence तक नहीं पहुंचता है because that's why
Not yet.
not yet.
No, but at least you pull rank on them saying dongri से मालूम.
वो मैं कर दूंगी लेकिन I don't think I think it's more about कि if you can outwit them aggression never works with comics.
Correct. You're right. It's really fabulous. So really Samay, I meant that as a serious question. Are we going to hear stuff? What is your gig going to be like? I know I understand कि जब भाई साहब बुलाएं आप पहुंच जाते हो and things like that, but you must give us a sneak peek into your set because you have Samay Raina fans, you have chess fans, you have you draw into various cultures and subcultures, man.
मैं इस शो में हुई नहीं पता आपको.
27th वाले में हो
इस शो में परफॉर्म ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ but
25 वाले में हो 25th वाले में
आगे वाले में हाँ. तो उसमें मेरा वही सेट है यार जो मेरा whatever is my best material. See lineup show का क्या रहता है पता है? Every comic gets X number of time and they want to do their best to. It's like almost like a boxing match with the audience.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to show कि भाई I am the best boxer. So that brings out the competitive spirit in the lineup show and everyone's killing. Usually हम अपना सोलो करते हैं, ओपनिंग ऐड कर लेता है, फिर हम जाते हैं एकदम किल करके आते हैं, ओ हम हीरो हैं. लेकिन लाइनअप शो में 10 हीरो हैं भाई, 10 लोग अपना बेस्ट मटेरियल करेंगे तो सबका एक कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस भी निकलता है. सब लोग उस अगले एक्ट से पहले होते हैं यार मैं इससे ज्यादा किल करूंगा यार, ये हो गया. तो वो सब चीज में everyone brings out their best. So I am also going to bring out my best and so is Nishant bhai, so is Sumaira. So overall it's a win for the audience. एक हर लाइनअप शो में एक कॉमिक होता है जो सबसे उदास होकर घर जाता है कि यार मैंने सबसे खराब किया आज. तो बस as long as हम लोग ओनली कॉमिक होंगे तब we are very happy.
और फिर एक ऐसा
ऑडियंस को तो विन है भाई.
और फिर एक ऐसा कॉमिक भी होता है जहाँ पे ऑडियंस के लिए विन है, वो कॉमिक के लिए विन है, लेकिन बाकी सारे कॉमिक्स उस कॉमिक को कोसते हैं.
वो कॉमिक
ओवर टाइम गया.
वो इसलिए होता है जब वो कॉमिक ओवर टाइम जाता है.
Now, what Samay has just referred to is the next edition of the big show. That's happening on the 25th of November at the Experimental Theatre. Again, show timings are 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on Book My Show for that gig also. That has Samay, has Sumit Saurav, Aman Jotwani, Mohammad Hussain, Vaibhav Sethia, Shamik Chakravarti, Piyush Sharma and Rajshekhar Mamidana. And it's again called The Big Show, All-Star Stand-Up Comedy. As far as the lineup for that particular gig is concerned, just a little bit about the other comedians. Some we know about, he's just spoken, but just an insight into those comedians because they're not here. Balraj.
So Rajshekhar Mamidana is a comic from Hyderabad. He's been performing since quite some time, and he's actually selling out auditoriums right now. He does improv as well. Wow. He does a lot of material based on family and based on relationships, based on and a lot of his material is. His audiences are all the way scaling from 15-16-year-olds to all the way 55-65-year-olds. So it's fantastic, the age range that he's catering to. Piyush Sharma has worked a lot with TVF for a lot of shows. He also has a lot of videos online already. He's a great comedian. He's also known as a punchline machine because he can just keep coming back to back with punchlines. He's got a very uh, you could say straight-faced humor. That's what Piyush does. Uh, Sumit Saurav, he's released a special. He's also come on Comic Stan. Aman Jotwani's been on Comic Stan. Sumit Saurav's special is really good on Amazon Prime, and it's something that where I also worked on. Aman Jotwani was on the latest Comic Stan. He does a lot of humor which is based around observations. uh, Mohammad Hussain, again another comic who does great punchlines. He's got a lot of material which is heavily satirical. Shamik Chakrabarti, again straight-faced humor. I think that this lineup is a lineup which is going to be packed because there's a lot more comics. There'll be a lesser time being done, but it's going to be an evening which is like a mini festival.
I want to ask Sumaira about the lineup that she's part of, which is the lineup for the 15th. Sumaira, Rohan Joshi is part of the lineup. You've worked with AIB in the capacity of a writer. I mean, more recently you wrote Son of a Beesh. And it must be exciting for you to have Rohan back on stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting to have like just comic community सब एक mostly तो एक दूसरे के दोस्त है ही. Yes, Rohan Joshi is my first boss in life, which is AIB, all four of them. So, but वो उससे हम काफी दूर आ चुके हैं अब, जैसे उसके बाद हमने CPL भी किया साथ में, तो हमने काफी like there is a very different kind of because we spent like that. It was the quarantine time and CPL is a show on Netflix, तो वो टाइम पे हम साथ में quarantine कर रहे थे, तो it's like we have a lot of good memories but also a little bit like थोड़ा दूर रहना चाहिए हमें. पूरे 20 दिन साथ थे, तो little bit we're like ये 2 घंटे का hang काफी है. So yeah, very excited to see him every time though in the green room. He's very funny.
Nishant, Sonali Thakkar and Ronak are also part of the lineup. Just a few words from you because they are not here. उनके बारे में कुछ
गंदा भी बोलो यार, सब अच्छा ही बोले आएंगे तो क्या.
मैंने कोशिश की यार रोहन जोशी के बारे में बोलने की.
बहुत अच्छा बोली वो. इतने insights और facts दिए उसने कि वो उसका पहला बॉस था.
Exactly, और अब ऐसा लगेगा कि मेरा और रोहन के बीच में एनिमिटी है. ऐसा कुछ है.
बाकी कॉमेडियंस को प्रमोट करना मतलब दूसरों के बारे में कुछ बात करना. निशांत, टेक ओवर बॉस. Anything you'd like to say about Sonali? Anything about Ronak, please?
नहीं, मैं बस ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि हम तीनों ने आके गलती कर दी. बलराज भाई ने सबकी तारीफ की है जो नहीं आए हैं. हम तीनों के बारे में एक शब्द नहीं बोला.
अरे तो इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि आप ही एक दूसरे की तारीफ करें.
हम कैसे खुद की तारीफ करें?
भाई निशांत भाई बहुत बढ़िया कॉमिक लगता है मेरे को. लगता है निशांत तंवर से बढ़िया कॉमिक नहीं है, ठीक है. मेरे को लगता है सुमेरा शेख वन ऑफ द फनीएस्ट भाई हो जाए भाई. निशांत भाई आपको क्या लगता है?
बस समय जैसा चेकमेट कोई करता नहीं है, चाहे कॉमेडी में हो चाहे चेस में हो.
हम क्या बाकियों को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं भाई. हमारा शो हैबिटेट
और बलराज भाई है कॉमेडी के बाबा सिद्दीकी. ये सबको साथ लेके कोई 2 कॉमेडियन अगर साथ में एक दूसरे का मुंह भी नहीं देखते आमने सामने, उनको भी स्टेज शेयर करवा देते हैं.
यस.
So Balraj, since they are not talking about Sonali and they are not talking about Ronak Rajani and Anirban Dasgupta and Shashwat Maheshwari, you might as well do the honors.
I mean, it's simple. Everyone who's there, a part of the lineup, is there for the one main reason, because of how funny they are. Including the people on this lovely Zoom call. I'm very happy that they are there as a part, because honestly, without all of their support, it's a very small community that we share. Yeah. It works on a lot of relationship, on a lot of trust, and I don't see any reason why this should not be happening at this point in time. It's been long enough. It's long overdue. I think that these comics are the best, not just in the country, but for me, they're the best on this planet as well. Because the amount of stage time, the amount of stage time that these guys get, and the number of shows that they do, the amount of hard work they're putting in just to get the material out, I think audiences they could not deserve better. So I mean, abroad, अरे लोग आ रहे हैं बाहर से, ट्रेवर नोआ आ रहा है, जिमी कार आ रहे हैं, ये जो भी आ रहे हैं, पहले ये लोग को देखो आप.
Well said.
फिर decide करो.
Very well said. Very well said.
Balraj bhai, I
Support
love you.
homegrown comedy. Support
bhai,
homegrown
best.
comedy before anybody else. And that's what
best.
the big show, All Star Stand Up Comedy, is all about, guys. 15th as well as the 25th at the Experimental Theatre NCPA. See these fine people who are on screen in front of you. Or on the
मैं
mic.
एच का टैटू करा रहा है इधर, एच टैटू करा रहा है, एच हैबिटेट का एच
जो
इधर.
ऑडियो में सुन रहे होंगे वो बोलेंगे यार फाइन लुकिंग मैन, मैं देखूंगा.
Fine sounding men and women. There are 2 showings, 5 and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are at Book My Show as well as at the venue. You could also go to NCPA Mumbai and get tickets there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Balraj. Thank you, Samay.
you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Sumaira.
everyone.
Thank you, Nishant. Cheers.
Thank you, Hrishi. Thank you so much.
having his
94.3 Radio 1.